This is Bolen Outdoors, and this is the TIDEWE VIS360 4-panel blind. I'm just going to walk you through the setup on this real quick and then walk you around the blind and show you some of its features. Right off the bat here, I want to point this out though. You got two straps on the carrying case, which make getting that thing in and out of the woods a breeze. Also, this thing's very light, so easy to get in, easy to get out. And out the package there, you do have some stakes that come with it. Right there. And then this panel too, which we'll talk about in just a second. But getting this thing set up is a breeze. So what you want to do first is find your top. It's going to be the solid piece. Put a little bit of pressure, not on the sticks, off to the side, pop that, and the rest of this is super simple. So you're just going to lift, find your next handle, pull. You'll probably be able to see this one a little bit better, but you got this little handle right here. Just find that, give it a little tug. That's all you need. Oh boy, we're going down. Get the next one, pop, and your fourth one, and pop. Just like that, you are in business. I'm gonna go ahead and spin this because I want the door to be facing this way real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you around this real quick and just show you what we're working with. So as you can see, it has these little orange flags that come with it. You don't have to have those on. I put them on. I like that, especially for firearm season, youth hunting. You might also notice that you've got these little molly loops all the way around it. That's going to let you brush it in really well. And something else you probably noticed, or maybe didn't, you can't see into this thing at all, right? It just looks like a solid panel blind. You might see some little holes, but that's about it, right? Let's check out what the inside of this thing's about. All right, so let's go ahead and get this opened up and we'll take you inside and show you what this is all about. Now you do have a full panel door that starts right here at the bottom. That's right on across. And just like that, you've got a nice wide door, which is great for getting gear in, getting kids in. If you've got maybe a handicap hunter that you're working with, somebody in a wheelchair, look at that. That's going to help them get right in. But you can see, as the 360 implies, all the way around. So let's go ahead and shut this real quick. So on the back, you've got the silent slider doors, window, I'm sorry. It's a little snagged up there. I need to zip it shut. That'll make it a little easier to open. I'm doing this side probably a little bit easier. There you go. So out the back side, that's going to give you a lot of shootability. And then the other three panels, you've got the triangular shaped windows. Now again, these ones, you got a little clip there just kind of holding it together. But after that, you've got the silent sliders, so you can drop those, and that's going to let you set up all the way around when you're shooting crossbow. I've shot a bow out of these pretty easily. If you're using any sort of firearm, that's going to give you a lot of flexibility there. Now, two things I did want to point out real quick. So with this door, again, that's a full zipper. If you don't want to do that, and for me, normally when I'm in the blind, I don't, zip the door shut. You've got this little loop system right here. You can literally just loop the door shut, and you don't have to worry about wind or anything else blowing it open for you. That's going to keep it there, not moving around, and you are good to go. Now, earlier I showed you this thing that came out the bag. What the heck is this? Well, right now, if you notice, I've got the sun behind me. So I love these 360-degree blinds that you can see through. I love the concept of being able to see everything moving around me, because sometimes you set up, you got the black wall behind you, or blackout wall behind you, and maybe you hear a branch break, you got a little window you're trying to peek through, there's a deer back there or a turkey strutting around, right? So that is a problem with that, which is why I don't like those very much. But With this one, your greatest strength becomes your greatest liability, right? Because now sun can see through. So if I got sun on my back and I'm in here moving around, there's a deer, a turkey, anything like that out there, they're gonna see my outline, right? So the folks over at TIDEWE got creative with this, and they gave you a blackout panel. So you've got a couple little loops, and right, I don't know how well you can see that, I might need to move you. So you got a couple little loops there, right? So what you can do is just take this little hoop system, loop that into there, and you're all set. Now, there are a couple other ones as well on the bottom of this. So you got 4 loop systems, right? So like you see, you got a wall there. That's giving you some protection from that sunlight coming in if the sun just happens to shift. I'm not gonna hoop up all those, and in reality, I think you could probably even just hoop the top 2, and I think you'd be good to go. Another practical use for this is it feels like it's a very durable waterproof material, and I think that's why they made one side camo, is because there's also hoops all across the top. I think you probably just drape this thing right on top to give you some added water protection. Now I do want to say I've been using TIDEWE blinds for a few years now, and I've been in some pretty heavy rainstorms with them. I've been in rainstorms, snowstorms, sleet, ice, you name it. I haven't really had an issue with just the standard roof itself leaking. You know, maybe a drip here or there, but nothing that I would really complain about. I've been thoroughly satisfied with it, so that's just an added level of protection for you, right? Something else you could do here too, if you really wanted to get creative with this, and with this side door, this is something I really wish I had before, but there have been a few times where me and my son have been out, and maybe I've been filming for him or he was filming for me, and just the way the blind was set up, we had issues. So check this out and tell me what you think about it. You can write it in the comments, but what if you can just open that up like that? Look how much extra surface space you just gave yourself. Maybe you got a big shooting lane over here. Now we're taking up double the space, huh? That seems like something pretty practical, right? And even if you had an issue with shade, you could probably even use that tarp thing if you wanted to maybe give yourself some cover overhead. Bring a tent pole with you. Actually, let me play with that real quick. I just gave myself an idea. Let me check this out. All right, and I just cut me setting that up because, I mean, it only took a second, but we don't need to waste you folks' time with that. Yeah, check that out. If you had a little tent pole or just a stick with you, you pop that up. Now all of a sudden you got cover in there too if maybe the sun's beating down on you. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I wouldn't want to sit in the rain with that. But yeah, I mean, you could sit there. Now you've got a lot of shooting space, right? You could have a couple people set up here, a couple people set up here, turn it into a family event. I say that, some of you might be like, what do you mean a couple people? I often go hunting with my kids. I got 2 of them now. Well, there was 3. The other one, she's 18, but the 2 other ones, the boys, they are getting to a point where they're getting really excited about hunting. My oldest son harvested his first deer last year. My youngest son harvested his first deer this year. I've got that on video, actually, if you want to check that out on the Bolen Outdoors, you know, full-length videos there. But yeah, my daughter comes, she sits. We turn it into really a big family event. But yeah, doing something like this would be perfect for that. But yeah, no joke, you could set up a pole there, get a little rope or whatever, tie it off to a branch, and now all of a sudden you got some pretty much 2 blinds, like doubling it up. But cool stuff. Well, if you have any questions about this, I don't consider myself a subject matter expert, but again, I have used a lot of these TIDEWE blinds in the last few years here. I own a number of them. I love them. They're great blinds. And in fact, they got me set up with a promo code. So if you're interested in this, or if you see any of my other videos about TIDEWE blinds and you're interested in one of those, there is a link to TIDEWE's website below. They're available there. If you go through the TIDEWE website, there's a promo code BO18, so Bolen Outdoors, just BO18, and that's going to give you 18% off of your purchase. And that's not just on blinds, that's anything. If you buy, you know, whatever else, their boots, their jackets, I have a lot of their stuff. I love their products. They're great. I really do think for the pricing, you know, there's probably no other company out there beating the value you get for the price. And this too is also heated, by the way. A lot of their stuff's heated, which is pretty cool. Never thought I needed that until I started wearing it, and I don't know how I ever went. I don't know how I ever went without it. But I hope you've enjoyed this. As I say, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And aside from that, have a great day, and we'll see you out in the woods.